Hello everyone, I'm back today with another video. This is going to be another tournament game. This is actually the round 2 game of the PROPerfect tournament. In the first round I defeated Yivor, and so in this round I will be facing off against the infamous Napoleon. I've never beaten him in a tournament game, but our last 4 games together I won 3 of them. 2 of them were ranks, 1 was a friendly. And the one he won was a rank. So we haven't faced in a tournament match in quite a while. I believe the last time that happened was about a year and a half ago in the 2017 to 2018 winter turn. It was round 5 of the rehab bracket, I believe. This should be an interesting match. We always have close games. So we know Captain here, he exchanged scouts over here. He's very defensive, as we all know, and he doesn't attack very often, even when the opportunity is there. He sometimes just won't take it. Sometimes I think that's one of his disadvantages. But we'll go ahead and see what happens in this game. It's pretty highly rated on this account. I think, yeah, 970. He's been playing on another account that's just Napoleon 1, and he's been hanging around a little bit below 900, like 850 to 880 or so. So that's interesting that he's achieved this on this account, but he has not been able to on his new account. Perhaps that's a reflection in the improvements of players in general, but go ahead and... So I know Captain here. Okay, so he's trying to do some sort of offensive on this side. Maybe that's a kind word for it. I'm not really sure what it is. I guess he's trying to attack, but we'll see what happens. But this is my strong side, so I have no problem with that. But that is pretty interesting, because he usually never goes on the attack at all. He'll just, he might, like I said, he might bring pieces up, but he won't necessarily attack. And we'll see if that's what's happening. He looks like he's about to attack something. That would be pretty interesting. He might attack that sergeant there. Let's see what he does. Yeah, he might actually attack something here. Let's see. He is. Wow. He's going to go on the attack with that lieutenant. This is probably a bluff, but it doesn't matter because this piece is actually guarding it. But we'll see. Okay, so that was a colonel. Alright, so it's unfortunate that that wasn't a major, because the colonel was the one guarding it. But let's see, we're down a captain, right? And we know 1 colonel. I'm going to take this captain with my major here. I'll probably end up discovering the general. Let's move the sergeant over just to ensure no scouts snipe the spy. Okay, so we'll probably discover the general. Yep. So what do you think this piece is right here? Might not be, but I think it's probably the spy. He likes to give out the general's information. The spy with him is always by the general. 100%. It is 1 space from the general. So it's one of these 2 right here. Okay. He likes to give out the general for pretty much nothing. He'll just, like, see, I hadn't discovered that, and we had traded off captains. He would have just moved the general up and just left it there and left it free to scout. He's just that type of player that doesn't, I'm going to trade colonels here so that I don't lose that lieutenant. But he's the type of player that doesn't value the information of the general. However, he will not take anything below a colonel with his marshal. He does value that. But for the general, not so much. Let's go ahead and get this major out. We don't want him sending in like a sergeant and discovering my marshal. So pretty early stages, we're down a major, we know the general, and we're up a lieutenant and down a sergeant. We're also up 2 scouts, which is pretty surprising. Let's make that 1 scout. bomb maybe? Yeah, it's bomb, okay. The way he was playing that, he usually likes to put a bomb there on his general side. And he usually has at least one bomb behind the lake, so one of these two is probably a bomb. Surprisingly, I'm actually up scouts, which usually never happens. I usually use them all way too quickly. That's something I should improve on, and at least it's not hurting me so far this game. But we know a bomb. Like I said, I'm pretty certain at least one of these is a bomb. One of these two, he likes to put at least one bomb behind the lake. General, and one of these two right here is the spy. We're going to bring this lieutenant out here. Maybe pick up like a scout off of it and then trade. Maybe just trade, period, if I feel like it. We'll see. See what he does here. Okay, so he is kind of letting me do that. I'm gonna bring this. Okay, so he's gonna. Well, that's a pretty interesting move there. I guess he was thinking it wasn't gonna be a captain, but let's go and bring this scout up here, and I'll just probably post it somewhere along here and see what he does. Okay, so he's approaching with these unknown pieces here. He already used a colonel on this side. He's got the general over here. So probably he's probably gonna strongest piece he's gonna bring around is gonna be a major. Let's just see what he does here. If I put that scout right there. Another interesting thing to note is he will sometimes put his power piece on the same side. So just because the general was here doesn't mean the marshal isn't, say, in this column somewhere, like maybe right here. But I find that very interesting that he took that piece, because usually I'll rush up with colonels and do that, but it's only a scout, so it doesn't matter, although I think that was a very unnecessary risk by him, as it, like I said, very well might have been, and probably even a favorable chance of what I put there being able to take out that major. But I'm not too concerned about that, so let's see. This is probably a captain or a lieutenant that's threatening to take this or trade. So he knows this captain here. I'm just going to leave that there. See, we know major here, though. Right here. Okay, so he is going to scout that. I'm going to go ahead and move next to this piece here. See what he does. This is not going to be able to take out the major, but we'll see here. He's probably going to retreat. So 5 or 6? 6, good. So that was a good play to bring that major over. And that definitely fooled him. He was probably looking to trade or maybe discover the marshal there. We'll see. So I'll go ahead and back that up, kind of dare him to, see, I'll retreat the marshal also. I'm going to probably look to trade this off here. And see what he does. Okay, he will trade off. That's good. Because me having 2 known majors is not, especially in the same vicinity, not necessarily something that I want to have. Because he could bring down a colonel and duly threaten them. So as all games with Napoleon are, this one's a close one right now. I'm down a major, up a captain and lieutenant, down a sergeant. But I like how this game's developed. I've got the information advantage for now. That's for sure. Let's go ahead and bring up a colonel here. I was going to bring up the general, but I'm thinking this is probably like a sergeant or something like that. But I also don't want to risk it being a major. But I'm fine with the sergeant discovering the colonel, but I don't want the general to be discovered by a sergeant. So he's moving what he pretended was the spy here. Honestly, I think this is the marshal. This is the spy. I think that's the marshal, because like I said, he'll put him on the same side a lot. And I could believe general, marshal, maybe not. I mean, it very well might just be like a scout or something. He's bluffing as the spy. But I think there's a real possibility this could be the marshal right here. Because he had general here, and then the marshal, or what I think is the marshal, came from here, moved over when I discovered the general. He's acting like it was the spy. I think this right here is probably the spy. This is probably, it's either a colonel or a bomb, but I don't know if he would put a colonel and a major here. Because remember, I moved that scout up, he took it with the major. And I forget what this piece was, but this might be a bomb right here. But let's just forge ahead and see what we can get done here. Oops, 30 does. Again, I have a good advantage knowing the general, and I'm pretty sure, especially the way he's acting in this game, his marshal is probably on the same side as his general. He's not even trying to defend this side at all. One thing to note is the last 2 times he's played me, he's had an open flag. That's pretty interesting, because usually he's known for his closed flags. But not the last 2 times. He opted for open flags, which usually open flags are used as a sign of trying to trick the other player, as if the other player can might fall for that when they're ahead in the game, which that means that I've been doing quite well against him lately then, and I believe that's true. I have, especially for what my rank would suggest. So I got a sergeant off that. That's fine. Like I said, I have no problem revealing a colonel for a sergeant. And general, possible marshal suspect, probably a sergeant right here. This is going to be a sergeant, I think. Well, maybe not if he's governing with the marshal, but if this is a colonel, it's either a colonel or a bomb, really. This piece right here. Okay, he's probably going to move this piece over to threaten the colonel. And do I believe that's the marshal? I think this piece also could be the marshal, but would he really let me walk in with a major? You know, okay, here's what I'm thinking. This is the spy. This is probably the marshal. He's kind of acting like it. And sometimes you think good players are bluffing and they're actually not, and that's a part of their strength. This I can believe being more of a colonel because it came right next to the general, next to the spy here. And it wouldn't really make sense to put the marshal behind the spy and then a colonel here. So I'm thinking colonel marshal. I think that I'm leaning towards that right now. But let's see how this plays out and what he does. Using quite a lot of buffer time, which is abnormal of me, but I suppose that's because I'm explaining what I'm thinking. Okay, he's going to waste his 7th scout on the trade there, that's fine. I got 2 more, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, so this is the piece that I know is not good. Let's go and bring a scout out and see if we can figure out one of these 2 pieces. I think one of these is the colonel and one of these is the marshal. Or it is possible the colonel is unmoved here, but the marshal is one of these 2 pieces. I know that. I'm very confident in that assessment. And I believe it is possible that one of these could be the colonel as well. Interesting. Just go ahead and retreat the colonel. If he moves it down, I'll fly a scout over and see what happens. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move the scout over. Just right here, like I said, that's going to be a sergeant or something like that. So the suspected spy is retreating here. So here's an idea. Okay. So I'll move that scout there. Alright, so here's an idea. If he moves this over, then I can scout it. Okay, so he's gonna opt to back it up. That's okay. I'll go ahead and move this kernel back for now, but we'll see here. Again, general spy, that's pretty obvious by now. One of the games that I beat him, actually it was my first win against him in a ranked game. I pretty much gifted him a kernel. I moved a kernel to threaten one of his unknown pieces. And it was his general, and he took it, so he was up a kernel really quickly. And he made it here where his general could not run to the spy, and I didn't think the spy was by his general. Let's do this and see what happens. Anyway, point is, my marshal chased him all the way back and trapped the general and took it. And I think from that point on, he learned that to always put the spy there. I don't think he would risk that against me, or he would allow me to do that. So this is probably a major here. It's trying to pick up a cheap lieutenant. I'll go ahead and move the lieutenant back. This colonel, or this piece did come from right here. I'm gonna probably scout it and see, which make sure. Yeah, it was a major. Okay, good. I just didn't want to make sure it was a colonel, but I do want to trade off this major now. Alright, that's good. Okay, so he is not going to want to trade that. But, I'm going to move this over here. I'll do that and see what he does. Okay, so he'll move away, that's fine. Interesting. So, we know majors here. Guess that major's still retreating. It's probably going to move over like that, yeah. Okay. Again, I'm not going to take a chance on trying to guess the marshal yet. I'm not going to do that. Here's what I'm thinking, though. I'm going to rush up with a captain. Okay, take this piece, right? Okay, I guess he'll just let me do that for him. Lieutenant, even better. I was thinking a sergeant. I'll go and take that. If he moves between those pieces, I'll let him have. Okay, so he's gonna... threaten that there. Go ahead and retreat this back here. Kind of force him to take the initiative. Interesting. Let's see. I'm going to threaten that major. Okay, he's going to take that captain, so that's good. That's going to allow me to make up my major disadvantage. We'll be even on that. That will give him a captain, but keep in mind I have 2 lieutenants now. Probably going to scout that. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not worried about that. But what I will do now is move this over. Perfect. And I'll scout this. One of these, whichever one is not the marshal, then the other one's the marshal. So if this isn't the marshal, then I know that is the marshal. I think I'm leaning toward this being the marshal, but we'll see here. Indeed, it is the marshal. Okay, that's good. So he's going to try to pick up a captain here. That's fine. That's a colonel. Yep. So I was right. One of them was the marshal, one was the colonel. He will take a captain on me there. But I'm still up 2 lieutenants, so I'm confident in that. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. Force him to trade that off. Okay. One benefit I have is more of his setup is exposed, and I think he actually doesn't have any, he has no bombs under the lakes, which is pretty interesting. Okay. So again, down a captain. Okay, let's see. We need to probably try to make something up here. I am up 2 lieutenants, that's true, but I'm not sure if I entirely want that. I'm not sure if I really want an endgame of captain against 2 lieutenants. Okay, let's go ahead and move this way with the general. Perfect, I'll cut the general off. Hopefully this is a captain, I can move up and trap it. I don't know if this, I don't think this piece is moved. I know this piece has. I know the sergeant has because the major starts there. But I think this lieutenant has not actually moved yet. But let's go ahead and see what this piece is. And is that Lotto? Not sure if that's Lotto. If that is Lotto, that would be pretty crazy. Just a sergeant, okay. I know none of these have moved, so we'll see what he does here. Wow. Seriously making me question whether those have moved. I'm going to see what he thinks about that. But either way, that was a very damaging Lotto. He claims they've moved. I don't know about that. I'm going to have to check that setup. Maybe they have. My memory is not good, but we'll see. Well, that's even more of a disadvantage now. I'm up a sergeant. I guess that's good. Down a minor, though. That's the first minor that's been killed of the game. That's pretty interesting. I almost have an instinct to Lotto, like, to compensate for that. But I don't really know. Well, we know spy. We know a bomb here. We know spy here. This is probably nothing great. Maybe like a... Yeah, it's probably captain here. Okay, here's the plan. He doesn't want to trade. Interesting. Let's see if I can make him pay for that. I know that lieutenant. Wow, that has not moved. Okay, I'm pretty darn sure that lieutenant has not moved. I'm gonna have to Lotto now. He is just... Yeah, I'm gonna have to Lotto here. That's my only chance now. I can't believe he did that. I am very certain that lieutenant did not move. This probably is a captain here, so I need to trap this ASAP. Okay, maybe it's a major. Ah, it is a major, okay. That's a bummer. Okay, I'll trade that off. Bomb here. This is probably pretty unlikely to be a bomb. This is the spy. I don't know why he's doing that. But I'll take that piece. Hopefully it's not a bomb. Captain, good. Okay. So now I'm only down a minor. I'm going to have to go further, though, because I'm still down. Yes. Alright, I have the lead. I mean, he lottoed. I cannot fathom those all being lottos. Now watching he's going to lotto that captain. That would be pretty hilarious, honestly. Well, I mean, it's not really a lead. It's kind of a... pretty much a tie right now, I guess. Because in a drawn endgame, man, he's just revealing his setup. He thinks I'm going to lotto some more. Well, he's pretty much making known 4 bombs here. We know this is the spy, so let's come up and take the this is very interesting. I actually have a path to his flag, possibly, with this minor, because I know this is the spy here. He's recognizing his mistake. Let's see here. I can force a way to get this piece, though. I'll move over, move the minor down, and 2-square him, I think, if I can. Ooh, yeah, he's gonna... Maybe it's a minor. Okay, it is a minor. Okay. I was gonna say otherwise. He messed up pretty bad there. Alright, let's go ahead and... In this situation, I could possibly have a lockdown on his flag here, but we'll go ahead and bring out this captain. This is a very interesting game. It's certainly unlike any other game I've had with Napoleon, that's for sure. But we'll see what he does here. Keep in mind I also have a spy advantage, which usually is nothing to gloat about, but in this situation it could be the difference between capturing a minor and not capturing a minor, with bluffing it as the sergeant. This is probably the captain here. And then I just need to trade off lieutenants, and maybe I can exploit my sergeant advantage. He's probably going to trade it off if it is indeed the captain. If he doesn't trade, then I will come and I'll pinch this piece off with my colonel and captain here. Take it. Okay, he's going to trade off that. That's good for me, in fact. Time to move up with the lieutenant. But he might think this is a minor, in fact, and this is probably his lieutenant here. This might be a minor here, so I might need to bring up a sergeant. Okay, I'll trade. That's fine. But this pretty much now he's letting me know that it's a minor. Let's see what he does here. Okay. Alright, I'll take that. What is this? A minor. Perfect. I'm up a sergeant now. This is excellent. I might be able to actually pull out a win here, which would be amazing after all the pieces that he took in. What I think is lotto. I'll have to confirm that afterward. He claims it's not. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and move up with this sergeant here. He's probably going to go lotto. I hope it's into a bomb. That would be very good for me. This is interesting. He's almost kind of inviting me to the flag. I'm thinking perhaps it's open. You know what I'm thinking? Sergeant, or the flag is probably over here, and this is another bomb. And the flag is probably open somehow. Let's see what he does. So let's see, General came from here. Marshal ended up being what I originally thought it was, which was from here, I think. Yeah, General, Marshal. So the flag is probably one of these two pieces right here. But let's see what he does. If he attacks this with a minor, then this could be the game-winning decision. Yes, that's it. I think I won this game now. I don't think he can recover from that, and we also know he has an open flag. I'll go and move that minor up, so I'm sure he can't lotto it. He'll probably go into one of the bombs, but he can't lotto either of these pieces. Best case for him, he'll lotto a spy and a minor, which, in that case, I would still be up. Okay, this is probably the sergeant. Yeah, this is the sergeant here. Okay. So let's go ahead and retreat with this. And yes, I am going to give his minor. Allow it to come down here. But this is the sergeant, it came from here. These all three are probably bombs. Another bomb here. Unless perhaps a minor in the corner here. Okay, he's just gonna trade off minors there. This is a game one, I believe. I don't think there's anything he can do to win this game. That lieutenant is trapped. I think I won this game. I don't believe there's any way that he can win this. Because I'm up a sergeant. Okay, let's do that. If he moves up, okay, he's not going to. Go ahead and move up with this sergeant now, the time to strike. This is the sergeant, this is the minor's somewhere here. The minor is one of these four. The flag is one of them, of course, and then he's got two bombs in that procession there. Okay, let's pretend like we are desperately trying. Oh, interesting. I thought he was gonna jump on that there. Is this the sergeant? Oh, he thought I was gonna bring up a minor. Okay. Well, he's pretty much padding my lead now. I'll tell him GG. I don't believe there's any way he can come from that. Alright, so he's gonna try to do this here. This is gonna be the minor, like I said. If any of these three pieces are movable, it's gonna be this piece being the minor here. But I can cut it off. So it's interesting. So 3 of these are bombs. So I'd be willing to bet this is the flag right here. Maybe this one. One of these two. There's nothing he can do there. I'll just move a piece there. Let's see what he does. Yeah, I won this game. That's pretty amazing. I thought I was toast when he started taking all those pieces. I mean, I guess they might have all moved. I just can't fathom or remember that. I mean, he took these two. I knew the sergeant had moved. Maybe this lieutenant had moved. I didn't think so. But he took the lieutenant here and also the minor here. And I'm going to have to check back on this setup. I don't actually remember the exact composition of the setup. This is a setup I found on the forum, by the way. I didn't explain my setup at the beginning. But it's one that I found on the forum. I forget who made it. but it's worked pretty well. It's pretty versatile setup with the unexpected spy, the general, and colonel. Okay, that's good. Let's see what he does here. The general and colonel, there's a piece between them. You have the general and the colonel. This piece here is usually expected to be the spy. This was originally a sergeant, and that's what I was saying earlier about the spy potentially being a asset in this close game, because I could bluff it as the 4, and he would think this is the actual spy. And of course the marshal up here with only a captain to guard it is a little bit unexpected. Usually you have at least a major. That's to seal the game for me anyway. That is a win. That is an excellent win. Even if it required some lotto, I'm pretty sure he perhaps used a little lotto himself. Maybe he didn't. I could be totally wrong on that. But I think he did, and that's going to be a minor. Yep. And this is the last moving piece right here. We won't find out the flag. But we have won this game, and we will progress 2-0. That'll be 2 wins straight. Quite honestly, I'm very happy with this match, because this, in our last 5 games now, I've won 4 times, so it's an 80% win rate against him in the last 5 games. And out of all the players above 900, I think he is the best fit for my style. I'm not going to say the easiest to beat, because that's subjective. That's kind of varies by person, but I do think he is. He's the one that best fits to my style. That I believe that it's his defensiveness allows me to develop an attack, which usually I don't do, because I'm not really inclined to attack, I believe, usually. But again, I'm very happy with this win. That was quite a game, quite a comeback, but good game, Napoleon.